Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone. Thanks for being here today from whatever time zone you may be joining us. I hope you are feeling relaxed, happy, and ready for some inspiration and fun this Saturday. I am Suat Rollins, and I'm honored to be your MC for the ELL Foundation's virtual recognition brunch. Until recently, I served as Provost and Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs at Northern Kentucky University. In fact, it was my pleasure in February of 2020 to welcome a packed house to NKU for last year's annual ELL Foundation Recognition Breakfast. Was that only a year ago? Just a few weeks after that event, our lives were turned upside down by the pandemic. Over the course of the year, we learned to confront challenges that we never imagined before. Leading the way with their examples of resilience and determination to overcome obstacles and pursue their dreams are the amazing students we celebrate today. As provost at NKU, I got to know some of these smart, creative, and hardworking English learners. The ELL Foundation supports them with college scholarships, academic enrichment opportunities, and emergency grants. Each year, an annual breakfast event like this one is the ELL Foundation's major fundraising opportunity. While COVID-19 has meant switching the event to a virtual platform this year, our students' needs have not changed. In fact, they are greater than ever. So we hope you will take advantage of the ways that you can support them throughout this event. Today is the first day of spring, which means very good things. For the ELL Foundation, this morning brought the news that, thanks to your generosity, we are very close to reaching our original goal of raising $30,000 for scholarships and other support for our students. Woohoo! And thank you. And now we believe that together we can do even a little more to support our students. By the end of today's events, we are calling on you to raise another $1,500 for these amazing young people. One opportunity is through our silent auction. Many of you have already gone online to check out the jewelry, the baskets, and other irresistible items that have been donated. This morning, we discounted some of the items, so be sure to check for bargains. Don't be shy about getting into heated bidding wars because our students will be the ultimate winners. This year, we are also offering a variety of experiences for 2 or more people. Examples are a cooking class from the chefs at Learning Kitchen in Westchester, and an expert mixologist lesson for 10 in Bourbon 101, which would be perfect for a group of bourbon-loving friends. There's also a tour, wine and cheese tasting, dinner gift card, and overnight stay at beautiful Elk Creek Vineyards in Kentucky. These experiences can be redeemed over 2 years, so when you and your significant other or friends can safely resume travel and group gatherings, you will be ready. In the silent auction, you will also notice items contributed by some of our scholarship recipients. These range from handmade sweets and jewelry to artwork. Proceeds from these items will be added to the students' scholarships. That's all the more incentive to bid on them. For those who are feeling lucky today, we have 2 opportunities to win in our silent auction, a 50-50 split the pot raffle and a collection of lottery tickets that could pay off big. Finally, we'll have a drawing for some fun door prizes at the end of our event. Now it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. H. James Williams, President of Mount St. Joseph University, who will offer a few words of welcome. MSJ has graciously made available its recital hall as our live stream location today. Dr. Williams is the 7th president of Mount St. Joseph University, where he served since March 2016.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm James Williams, president of Mount St. Joseph University. You might remember me from last year's keynote address at the ELL Foundation's Recognition Breakfast in February of 2020. While I'm sad that we won't be able to meet together in person due to COVID-19 pandemic, I'm thrilled that the ELL Foundation chose to stream this year's virtual recognition brunch live from our recital hall here at Mount St. Joseph University. At the Mount, our academic community embraces respect and concern for all persons, diversity of cultures and beliefs, and service to others. We value the backgrounds and native tongues of all of our students, including students who are first-generation immigrants, second-generation immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, and dreamers. This year, I'm delighted that 3 of our undergraduate students will be receiving ELL Foundation scholarships to help them continue their studies here at MSJ. I can't wait to see all of the great things these students do in our community after they graduate. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and welcome to Mount St. Joseph University.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. We greatly appreciate Mount St. Joseph's generosity in supporting our recognition brunch with this live stream venue and by being a sponsor of this event. It is now my great honor to introduce Sister Karen Elliot, a sister of the Precious Blood and Director of Mission and Ministry at Mount St. Joseph University, who will deliver our Interfaith Convocation.
Let us pause for a moment and recognize the divine within each one of us. Divine higher power, you created all people and all languages. We ask you to fill our hearts and our minds that we might become more deeply aware of and honor the spark of the divine within us and within each and every human person who you have created in your divine image and likeness. May El Shaddai, Elohim, Adonai, give us the courage to make wise choices as we respond to the grace of the present moment and remain faithful to our commitments. May Allah grace us with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that we will live by the values we hold deep within our hearts. May Lord Shiva and Lakshmi grace us with anger at injustice, oppression, and the exploitation of people, so that we will work for justice, peace, and the common good. May the Great Spirit grace us with the foolishness to think that we can make a difference in the world, so that we will do the things which others tell us cannot be done. And may God, through the power of all the holy and sacred names by which the divine is known, bless us deeply, that our integrity will be a gift to the world as we dare to risk a caring response every day of our lives. Amen. At this time, I'm delighted to introduce Dr. Monica J. Posey, President of Cincinnati State Technical and Community College, for a message about the importance of multiculturalism. Dr. Posey was appointed as president of Cincinnati State in 2016, having served at the institution since 1992. As president, Dr. Posey administers many excellent degree and certificate programs, including several offered through the Midwest Culinary Institute. Dr. Posey will be introducing a very special guest from the Institute, Chef Andrew Vogel, who will be showing us how to make a delicious dish. You can follow along if you signed up in time to receive Chef Vogel's recipe in advance, but if not, no worries. We'll send it to you again after the event to make sure that everyone who is registered receives it.
Hello, I am Monica Posey, President of Cincinnati State Technical and Community College. It's my pleasure to introduce our chef for this program, but also to emphasize the value of multiculturalism and diversity here at Cincinnati State, but also across the community. We appreciate the differences and the richness of our community. And now, today, we have a very exciting program. Chef Andrew Vogel, doctor at the Cincinnati State Midwest Culinary Institute, will provide a wonderful, exciting experience for you.
Hi, I'm Chef Andrew Vogel, and I am here today at the beautiful Midwest Culinary Institute kitchen studio to show you how to make a delicious egg dish that's easy for anyone to prepare and can use any kind of ingredients that you like. What we are making today is a frittata. It is basically an Italian word that means fried, but we're going to be doing essentially an open omelet. The French have done it as a quiche. The Spanish add potatoes to it and make their own version of a frittata. But our version today contains no meat, but it does contain butter and cream as well as cheese. But you can use whatever ingredients suit your palate. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chop up some of my ingredients. I have an onion here that I am going to dice. Want to be very careful with your knife so you don't cut yourself. You just want to cut the ingredient, not yourself. So we are cutting our onion. We have that nicely diced now, and I will put that back into the bowl. Give it a little extra. I'll move that aside. I'll show you the same with this tomato. We're going to dice the tomato. We will do just half of it into a nice dice. And these will be fillings for our frittata. I'm going to add that there. Then, one other thing that we can cut up is we are going to do a chiffonade of spinach. A chiffonade means thin ribbons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take several pieces of spinach like this, and I'm going to roll them up. And then I'm going to slice them thinly into a chiffonade. We will use this later as a garnish for our egg dish. Now we're ready to move over into the eggs. I'm going to turn my pan on so it has a chance to heat up while we are preparing our egg dish, and I'm going over a medium heat. I'm going to take 3 eggs and crack them into a bowl. I will take this opportunity to season with a little bit of salt. I use kosher salt. It's easier to pick up with your fingers and doesn't have iodine in it. I'm also going to put in a pinch of pepper. And now we will whisk this. I'm going to whisk it fairly thoroughly because I want the eggs to be very homogeneous and all one piece. So that's pretty good for now. Now that my pan is heated up, I'm going to throw in a little bit of butter. We will let that butter melt. We will take some of our onions when the butter has melted, and we will add them in. When you're doing a 3-egg frittata, you can put in about a half a cup of cheese to 3 eggs, and you can put in up to a cup of your favorite mix-ins, whether it's vegetables or meat or any combination. That's about the right ratio for making a frittata. So my butter is melting. I'm going to add a fair amount of these onions. We're going to let them saute for just a few minutes. I want them to get nice and soft. Maybe they get a little bit of color on them. I'm going to turn that heat down just a bit and let that cook. In the meanwhile, I will continue to mix my eggs. I will season my onions with just a little bit of salt. And prepare to add my ingredients to the pan. So what we're going to do is, once these onions have softened, I will add the egg mixture into that pan. We will cook it a little bit in the pan, and then we'll finish it off in the oven. So now my onions have started to caramelize a little bit and getting a little bit of color on them. That's what we want. That way they'll be delicious when it's time to eat them. So I'm going to put my eggs in now. And remember, I've seasoned these with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Don't be afraid to put seasoning in there. That really does add flavor. It's an important component. I'm going to mix this just a little bit with my spatula to get the onions evenly distributed. And what I want to do is just make sure that the bottom of this gets cooked. And I'm lifting up pieces, or moving the egg so that the liquid egg can flow under and connect with the pan to cook. I'm just doing that a little bit to give these eggs a head start. These are ready to go into the oven. The eggs are still pretty liquidy, but they have set on the bottom. So I'm going to hit this with some cheese. And I think some of these tomatoes would be nice in there as well. So I'm going to add some cheese. I'm going to add some of these tomatoes. Move them around, make them nice. And a few of these chives, just for a little bit of color. So there we have our frittata. I'm going to put it into the oven for a few minutes and let that finish up cooking. Now let's go over here and clean up just a little bit. I will get rid of all of the onion and tomato scrap. Let me wipe my board down. We don't want cross-contamination. So that is why we clean and sanitize the board between tasks. The next thing that we're going to make is a salad to go with our frittata. And first we're going to make a salad dressing. I have a bowl, and in this bowl there is a little blob of mustard. Mustard helps to emulsify the ingredients for our vinaigrette. We have some vinegar. This looks like balsamic vinegar. I'm going to add that. I'm going to go ahead and season this with a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. And then I will begin to whisk in the oil slowly. And we are shooting for a ratio of 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar. We're kind of eyeballing that today, but you feel free to measure that out if you would like. So now I'm going to add my oil very slowly at first until an emulsion forms. An emulsion is a suspension of unmixable items. So in this case, we are mixing oil and vinegar together, and they normally don't emulsify. But if we whisk them carefully, they will emulsify. And here's a secret: the mustard helps with that emulsion. So I am whisking this together. I'm adding my oil. My emulsion is coming together pretty nicely. And we're almost there. This is a basic vinaigrette. You can add any sort of herbs that you have laying around the house or whatever is to your taste. I also will use beat up herbs that are maybe just a little bit past their prime. They go great into an herb vinaigrette. So we have a nice emulsion here. I'm just going to finish that off. We have a very nice looking emulsion. We are now ready to dress our salad. I have my salad greens here, and I have a variety of items that I can add to the top of the salad. But first, we are just going to pour on a little bit of the dressing, just to dress the salad. And then I can add in any of my extras. I have some strawberries that are very pretty. They will look very nice on top. I have some raspberries that I can put on top as well. Just a few of those, kind of dotted around. And then some nuts to give a little bit of crunch and texture to our salad. Now we have, our salad is complete. Our frittata has been in the oven for a few minutes. We're going to check it. It looks very nicely done. So what I will do is I'm going to plate this frittata onto one of our plates. And then I will take my tongs, and I'm actually going to move the salad because I think it'll look prettier on this plate altogether. So I'm going to grab just a bit of that salad and put that alongside that frittata. We can then garnish the frittata with a little bit of our chiffonade of spinach. And there you have it. That looks pretty nice. I'm gonna try it. I have a fork here. The eggs are soft. I can really taste the onions and the tomatoes and the spinach inside, and it's absolutely delicious. I hope you followed along at home, and I hope that you enjoy this dish. Look for the recipe, and good luck.
Thanks, Dr. Posey and Chef Andrew. That was terrific. My mouth is watering, and I can't wait to try the frittata and salad recipes. I'd now like to introduce the president of the ELL Foundation, Keith Lancer. Keith is a higher education and nonprofit administration professional who works as the Associate Director of Service Learning and Civic Engagement at Mount St. Joseph University. Keith?
Thanks so much, Sue, Dr. Williams, Dr. Posey, and Chef Vogel for all of your support today. I'd like to take some time to thank our generous event sponsors and scholarship donors for their financial support this year. Because of their efforts, we were able to award over $28,000 in scholarships to today's 36 scholarship recipients. We couldn't do this work without you. First, I'd like to thank the Sisters of the Precious Blood for your generous President's Circle level scholarship donation. Because of your support, this year we were able to award 6 additional scholarships to deserving local English learners. Next, I'd like to recognize and thank our Advocates Circle sponsors and donors. Thank you, Northern Kentucky University, for your annual sponsorship of our event at the Advocates Circle level. A variety of offices at NKU contributed to NKU's sponsorship, including Enrollment and Degree Management, Latino Programs and Services, the Office of International Students and Scholars, Student Affairs, Advancement, and World Languages and Literatures. Thanks to Miami University's Association of Latinx Faculty and Staff for sponsoring today's event at our Advocates Circle level, in solidarity with our dear friend and former ELL Foundation board member, Esther Claros Berlios, who recently graduated with her doctorate from Miami University. We will miss Esther, and we thank her for her years of work and her dedication to supporting local English learners, who she affectionately refers to as her kiddos. Next, I'd like to thank and recognize our sponsors and scholarship donors who gave it the Friends of ELL level. They include the Sisters of Charity of Cincinnati, the YMCA of Greater Cincinnati, the Cincinnatus Association, Cincy Cinco, Cincinnati State Technical and Community College, Mount St. Joseph University, and Awaken Aiken. Thanks to all of our friends of ELL sponsors and donors for their generous contributions to our mission. I also need to thank our media sponsor, Heroic Strategies, for all of your help with our virtual recognition brunch. They're working right now behind the scenes to live stream this event. We couldn't have facilitated this event without you. And last but not least, I'd like to thank the organizations sponsoring virtual tables, including Catholic Charity of Southwestern Ohio and Su Casa, and the Cincinnati Federation of Teachers. We greatly appreciate your commitment to our students. At today's brunch, we're joined together to celebrate all of the students, teachers, staff members, and community partners who further our mission of helping Greater Cincinnati English learners to become successful in their academic lives while fostering their cultural identity. Many people joining us know that the ELL Foundation exists because of the vision of our founder and president emeritus, Sister Margarita Brewer, of the Sisters of Charity. Since the foundation was incorporated as a nonprofit in 2006, we have distributed more than $150,000 in college scholarships. In fact, with the 36 scholarships that we are awarding this year, our total scholarship funding is now approaching $180,000. Each of you at home plays an important role in helping us to achieve our mission, so thanks to all of you for tuning in. Only by working together will we achieve our vision for our region. We envision a Greater Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky region where all English learners appreciate and are proud of their cultural identities, receive needed support services for their education, graduate from high school and succeed in college, become self-sufficient, become meaningful contributors to our society, and serve in their communities as role models for others. Our vision is within reach, but we need your support to get there. Our core values unite us, and they guide our foundation's work. Our core values are diversity and inclusion, educational equality, multilingual literacy, dignity of all people, resiliency, and social justice. So if you share these values, I'd like to encourage you to get involved today. Invest your time, invest your talent, and invest your treasure, because our students are worth it. This past year was incredibly challenging and traumatizing for our students. Our students witnessed the death of a black man, George Floyd, captured on video as a police officer kneeled on George's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. They watched our country's Capitol building be ransacked by a violent mob of extremists and white supremacists. As if that weren't enough, the COVID-19 pandemic robbed our students of part of their childhood. It exacerbated inequities in our education system. It caused some of our students to go hungry. They've suffered through a pandemic that has claimed the lives of more than 500,000 people in this country, including some of their families, neighbors, and friends. But our students are resilient, and they never give up. During a global pandemic, our scholarship recipients collectively volunteered hundreds of hours in 2020 at their mosques, churches, schools, and area hospitals. They tutored their brothers, sisters, and cousins. They maintained their strong GPAs and continued to reach for the stars. I couldn't be more proud. Today, you have an opportunity to invest in our English learners so that they can achieve their very own American dreams. The good news is we have made it super easy for you to give. Have you checked out our amazing virtual silent auction yet? We have over 70 items in our silent auction this year at a variety of price points. We have food and drinks, experiences, art, accessories, toys, and so much more. You can view our silent auction by clicking on the items button on the top of ellf2021.givesmart.com. From the items page, you can also view items by category. You'll notice one of the silent auction categories is student donation. All of these items were donated by our talented scholarship recipients, and all of the funds raised from these items will be added to their respective scholarships. So bid high so that we can give even bigger scholarships to this year's scholars. You'll also know under the items tab that we have a split the pot raffle this year. The winner splits the total raffle money with the ELL Foundation, so don't miss your chance to win big. We also have a raffle called Your Lucky Day. This collection of lottery tickets could earn you up to $1 million. For both raffles, you can buy one raffle ticket for $20 or 6 raffle tickets for $100. If you prefer to donate instead of bidding on items, you can submit donations through our Give Smart page as well. Scroll down to access the donation section of ellf2021.givesmart.com. Please give generously so we can continue our scholarship programs for years to come. At the end of today's program, we will announce the winners of virtual door prizes, Academy Awards style. Everyone who RSVP'd for this event has been entered into our virtual door prize raffle, so be sure to stick around to the end of this event to see if you've won. Next, I'd like to introduce Rosa Maria Moreno, who will announce today's major awards. Rosa Maria is the board vice president of the ELL Foundation. She recently retired from Cincinnati State, where she worked as the Spanish program chair and professor of Spanish.
Muchas gracias, Keith. It is a real pleasure to introduce our major award winners. They are so deserving. I'd like to start with our College Student of the Year, Alia Diushebaeva. I met Alia when she was a student at Cincinnati State. She is a bright, engaging, and impressive young leader who will go far in life. But rather than try to tell Alia's story for her, let's hear it in her own words.
I lived in Palestine in the Gaza Strip most of my life, and I remember the first war that began in 2008 between Gaza and the Israeli people. I was at school, and at the same time I have lost one of my uncles. Those days we couldn't sleep the night. I was scared that one day we will all die, all the family. So when I came here, it was so challenging for me to interact with others, know what they're talking about. But I feel blessed with the opportunity. When I came here, they had the public schools, where they had ESL teacher assigned to teach each kid who came from different country the language and make them develop their skills. I was happy that I kept my grades A's and kept a consistent of 3.9 GPA. But at the same moment, I have added the leadership certificate to pursue, because for my career, I wanted to study organizational leadership with a focus area in human resources. By studying organizational leadership and human resources, it will help me to develop my leadership skills, management skills, and relationship skills that will allow me to help others to perform well and lead in a better way. At the same time, I was volunteering at the Clifton Mosque. I decided to become one of the youth leaders at the Clifton Mosque, and this has allowed me to continue with my leadership skills and to help others at the same time. I have learned much more while teaching those kids. In the fall of 2020, I started my Bachelor of Arts degree at Northern Kentucky University in organizational leadership with a focus on human resources. But my ultimate goal is to become an immigrant lawyer. My hope is to be one of the immigrant lawyers, because being in the United States, I see and I heard a lot of stories about immigrants where they are having a lot of trouble, and I want to be one of those lawyers to help them with their problems and let them be safe and give them the opportunity to live the life that we are all living in the United States. So being the Student of the Year and winning the English Language Learner Scholarship would help me to keep on going with my education and pursue my career. And I would also encourage others to help and donate to the English language learners. And maybe in the future, I'll be one of the English language learners board that would help other students. So I'm so much grateful for this opportunity.
Isn't Aya wonderful? And yes, Aya, we would love to welcome you as a member of the ELL board someday. Next, I would like to introduce a video featuring our high school student of the year, Gracie Perez Vasquez, a senior at Gilbert A. Dater High School. Gracie appears along with her counselor, William McAleenan.
When I first came to Dater High School, I was very shy at the beginning because I was afraid that I wouldn't be accepted here. And so I was very shy, but I got to learn the community around me, and I felt like it was a different environment than what I had been in. So I really started making friends and helping out. Right now, my grades are good, and I'm really happy about it. I started taking on leadership roles. I'm currently in the CPS ambassador for UC. We've been helping other students with finding or filling out the FAFSA, and after they're done, we help them to find scholarships into the field that they're going or into the school that they wish to apply to.
She has just been willing to really give her time to a lot of her fellow students to help them navigate this college process that's not easy to navigate. So specifically in regards to that, she's been a tremendous help, but she's been a leader in every classroom she's ever been in, just by example.
Back then, I was really upset. I grew up without my dad, and so I would look at other kids and see how they would be having fun with their dads, and I would always wonder why mine left. I was really depressed back then. My mother had a saying where she told me, through the raining storms, you will always find the sunshine at the end of every storm. She taught me that you don't really need someone to depend on, that you can work for it yourself.
Knowing what I know now about her and everything that she has had to overcome, it just, I don't think I can fully express into words how proud I am of her, and how she can continue to strive and push forward despite all those obstacles that get in her way. An obstacle to her now is just something that she looks at and just goes, I can figure this out. I think of Gracie as an inspiration because she is somebody that just gives an incredible much of herself to other people and never asks anything for return from any of the efforts that she gives to other people. And it's a trait that I haven't seen from somebody her age in almost a decade of working in schools.
I would like to work as a resource coordinator in schools just because there is a diversity at school. So an example of this would be Santa Maria. It's a place, an organization that helps Hispanics. In
10 years, Gracie will have a master's degree in social work, and she'll be working for a nonprofit, or she'll be working at a school as a resource coordinator. The sky's the limit for her. Whatever she sets her mind to, that's what she'll end up doing. But if I was to predict what she's going to do, she's going to end up working in a profession to give back to people.
The ELL scholarship for me means it's like a present for me. I'm really happy. It makes me feel like my hard work did pay off, and it makes me feel like I raised the honor of my mom by getting this scholarship, And I'm really grateful towards everyone who did give me a chance to keep going in life and to pursue my dreams.
That was great, Gracie and Mr. Mack. What a heartwarming story. Although Gracie already has been accepted for admission to 3 Ohio universities, I know our friends at NKU will be pleased to learn that she is leaning towards attending there. While the phrase, "it takes a village," may sometimes be overused, it is also true. At the ELL Foundation, we know that it takes the contributions of many in our community to fully support the students we serve. So now, we would like to recognize 2 incredible dedicated individuals and an organization who are helping to transform lives in our community. The ELL Foundation's 2021 Educator of the Year Award goes to Mary Jo Montenegro Miller, a highly respected and beloved school social worker for Cincinnati Public Schools. Mary Jo's family is from Nicaragua, and she has lived in Nicaragua, Germany, and the United States. She jokes that she has been an English language learner from the age of 5 and is still learning today. She joined CPS in 1990 and is known for putting in long hours to connect with students and families and support them. Mary Jo goes the extra mile to help students, and they appreciate her efforts to support their success. One young man was so grateful to Mary Jo that he asked her to join his family at his high school graduation ceremony so they could all celebrate together. Congratulations, Mary Jo. It is an honor to recognize you with the ELL Foundation's award as the 2021 Educator of the Year. Maribel Cortez Conde, a GE Aviation Senior Technical Project Manager, is the ELL Foundation's Community Ally of the Year, a new award for us this year. Born and raised in Mexico City, Maribel holds a bachelor's degree in computer science from the Polytechnic Institute in Mexico, and she has been highly successful in a male-dominated industry. She also made it a priority to give back to our community for supporting education. When the pandemic suddenly closed down in-person learning in schools, Maribel realized there would be a huge unmet need for laptops among low-income English learning students with Cincinnati Public Schools. As she put it, that was my trigger. I thought about all the kids within the CPS district who probably didn't have the privileges needed to continue their education at home. It just broke my heart. That became her catalyst to work with other partners to conduct a technology drive to help the neediest families in CPS. By the spring of 2020, the Remote Learning Initiative had collected more than 525 devices from different organizations. Maribel, I am so honored to recognize you with our first ELL Foundation Community Ally of the Year Award. Congratulations. The ELL Foundation's Make a Difference Award is given each year for exemplary service to English learners over time. This year, it is my pleasure to recognize Su Casa Hispanic Center with our 2021 Make a Difference Award in recognition of its outstanding educational programming. One of the major ways that Su Casa helps to bridge the opportunity gap for low-income Hispanic Latino children is through a summer learning program called Vacaciones Útiles, or productive vacations. When the pandemic shut down schools last spring, Sucasa's education staff faced a huge challenge in pivoting their usual in-person summer camp to a remote format. With the assistance of generous funders, new Chromebooks were purchased for all students who participated in Vacaciones Útiles. Results of this 6-week remote summer learning program were impressive, showing significant improvement in reading, social emotional skills, and readiness for the next school year. Now, that's what I call making a difference. Congratulations to Sucasa for being recognized with the ELL Foundation 2021 Make a Difference Award. And thank you for all your work to support English learning families in Southwest Ohio. And now, we would like to acknowledge all of our fabulous students who are receiving ELL Foundation scholarships this year.
The English Language Learning Foundation is proud to announce that this year we will offer $28,000 in scholarships to 36 outstanding Greater Cincinnati English learners. This year's scholarship recipients are currently enrolled at 14 different Greater Cincinnati high schools and colleges. They speak 18 unique languages, and they have backgrounds representing 19 countries across the globe. We will now recognize each of our scholarship recipients in alphabetical order. Alma Aguilar, Maria Aguilar, Miguel Aleman Rodriguez, Jonathan Angeles Ponce, Adiaratu Bengali, Bushra Belkadi, Julia Bottoms, Mohammed Kamra, Wendy Cantero Hernandez, Patricia Cimalamungu, Alisar Darwish, Clarita Herrera, Alia Diushebaeva, Ana Maria Echeverria Jimenez, De Fatu, Eric Fomacong, Kamlin Gobetseha, Mohammed Haboui, Bawi Nyong Uk, Martin Igaba, Nilda Jacobo Ambrosio, Alanson Mejia Pune, Nim Gom, Susie Garcia, Lucelena Reina, David Roblero, Mamadou Sadio Diallo, Bakary Sokona, Mohamedou Mbe, Abenazar Thadong, Mercy Torres, Shabnam Tursanova, Eugenio Villarreal Manrique, Roberto Cepeda.
What an impressive group of young people, and how absolutely beautiful they are in all their diversity. We are nearing the conclusion of our virtual recognition brunch, but before I invite Keith to share some closing remarks, I'd like to update everyone on the progress of our donations to date. At this point in time, our contributions stand at $32,086, but there is still time to give. We will keep our fundraising page and silent auction page open for additional monetary donations and bids until 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So please take another look at the auction items and up your bid if needed. Once the auction closes, successful bidders will use the contact information provided in the item descriptions to claim purchased silent auction items. I'll be back in a few minutes to announce the winners of our door prizes, which include some spiced gift packages, a fun fleece blanket, and some brightly colored pen sets and pouches from Guatemala. First, here is Keith again to talk about the powerful stories of resilience and of many of these English language learners that the ELL Foundation and you support. Keith?
Thanks, Sue. Before we end today's program, I'd like to share a few more inspiring stories of adversity and resilience experienced by our scholarship recipients. One of our scholars lived for 12 years in Burundi as a refugee, fleeing war and violence in her native Democratic Republic of the Congo. Today, she lives in Greater Cincinnati with her 11 siblings. She overcame a serious interruption of her education and is now enrolled in college and works in the community working with people experiencing homelessness. A student with DACA status was failing academically, but eventually he found his passion for IT while studying at Hughes STEM High School. He's passionate about going to college and turning his life around. He said, "I'm happy to have experienced failure because that makes me a better person." He continued saying, "Maybe one day I can give back to someone like me, living in the unknown, not knowing what the future holds for them because of their undocumented status." One scholarship recipient from Aleppo, Syria, was forced to flee to Turkey to escape the deadly civil war. Before she fled to Syria, she was forced to scour war-zone Aleppo for bread amidst bombing and military harassment. She has since turned her personal experience of living through war crimes into her motivation to join the Red Cross campaign at her school and to volunteer with the U.S. Census as a Syrian and Arabic-speaking ambassador. One scholar learned about the sacrifices that her grandfather and father made so that she could grow up in the United States. Her grandfather was an undocumented immigrant worker from Mexico, and her father attended a school for the children of migrant workers. Inspired by their stories, she decided to volunteer with Migrant Ministry, an organization led by the Sisters of Notre Dame. Today, she's studying social work so she can advocate for immigration reform. Another student, while living in Mali, ran a task force to support homeless children. Today, he's heavily involved with student clubs and organizations. One of his extracurricular activities is mentoring younger students through the illustrated memoir process in Aiken High School's Illustrated Memoir Club. You'll notice that Aiken's illustrated memoirs are available for purchase in our silent auction. All of the funds raised from all of the memoirs will be added to the scholarships of our scholars who graduated from Aiken High School. The tenacity and courage of our students never ceases to amaze me. They've been through so much, yet here they are, overcoming their obstacles so they can have their very own American dreams. Their stories, the story of immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, these are uniquely American stories, and they're worth celebrating. And today, you have an opportunity to invest in our students' American dreams. Invest in our students today so that they can be the change that they wish to see in the world. They're America's next generation of social workers, nurses, and teachers. They're the next generation of advocates, helpers, and social justice warriors. They are essential, they're gifted, and they're destined to leave this world a little bit better than they found it. So if you're like me, inspired by our students, please give. We've made it easier than ever for you to invest in their futures. Scroll down ELLF2021.givesmart.com until you get to the donation section. There, you can use a credit card or debit card to donate any amount. All of your donations will help us surpass our fundraising goal now of $32,000 so that we can support even more students. If donating via credit card isn't your thing, we also accept checks. Checks of any amount can be made out to the ELL Foundation and sent to our P.O. Box. Our address is P.O. Box 11975, Cincinnati, Ohio 45219. That's P.O. Box 11975, Cincinnati, Ohio 45219. Be sure to take another look at our silent auction before it closes today at 5 p.m. We've got something for everyone: coffee lovers, home chefs, art enthusiasts, and more. In our silent auction, we also have our Split the Pot and lottery ticket raffles. You can purchase one raffle ticket for $20 or 6 for $100. Buy your tickets today to win big. And if you strike gold with a lottery ticket raffle, don't forget about your friends at the ELL Foundation. Next, I'd like to invite Sue back to the podium to announce the winners of our virtual door prizes. Thank you.
Thank you, Keith, for sharing these truly inspirational stories. And now I will share the names of our door prize winners. As a professor of theater, I've wanted to say this for a long time. May I have the envelope, please? Thank you. Our winners are Jenny Brausch, Andrea Feeler, Stacy Falaco, Nancy Grosek, Sheila Hess, Anna Corlin, Heather Mayfield, Alanson Mejia Pune, Jacqueline Rioja Velarde, Lisa Torres. Congratulations, door prize winners. You will be contacted by email for details on how to receive your prize. This concludes our program for today. Thank you for spending part of your weekend with us. Remember that our donations page and live auction will remain open until 5 p.m. Be sure to check out our silent auction before 5 p.m. to make last-minute bids on discounted items. We hope to see you again at our 14th annual recognition breakfast, hopefully in person, in February of 2022. Enjoy the rest of the day.